Welcome back, everybody. Before we go any further, can I just quickly say thank you to all the positivity and all the likes and all the cool vibes in the comments and around the videos recently. It's been very, very cool to see how excited people are about this build and finally getting to it, of course, and just the builds and stuff in general. So thank you, everyone, for joining me, of course, today. And I mean, hey, let's get going. I mean, we on a journey today. Let's build some stuff. First of all, today what we're going to be building is going to be the back end of this entrance. It's going to hopefully make this place look very grand and start going towards what we are hoping for in this build in general. Really set the tone for what the rest of the build will be like. Also, before I forget, it's kind of a hard thing to forget, but it's easy when I've been walking past it like 50, 60 times, who knows. This over here is new. I don't know if you noticed it, but there was one of these here. There's now one of these here. So that's a new thing, and it should be okay. I'm noticing missing pieces, for instance, there, but that's all right. It's not a big deal. But either way, let's go get started. So I've got some plans, some ideas about what we're going to do here. I've been thinking about it, and really what we need to do is we need to make this entrance hopefully planned out, so we actually have a thought about what we're doing. And second of all, I want it to be quite tall, quite exaggerated upwards. That means as soon as we come up here, we're going to have to look a lot more that way. So if we can make the windows and make the walls very vertical and very narrow, I know it's kind of weird, but they have to go vertical, but more exaggerated vertically, I think that'll make this build look a lot larger than what it is. And it's going to be large, but it just makes it a bit more, I hope. So let's get started. First of all, last episode, we came around here and we started laying down this stuff. Now, I've been thinking about it, and I said we can either make a staircase straight up here, or we could be a little bit annoying and do a little bit of a loop around and do the staircase around this way. And I think around this way is probably one of the better ways. So let's just get started and hopefully have a plan for this. So let's pop some of this in. Just for now, we'll just do something like that, and we'll just do it over here just so we don't lose ourselves, of course. So as we go around, I want to make some stairs, and really, what is this? 1, 2, 3 blocks. We'll probably try something along these lines here, just a very basic one. And this is, of course, actually a pretty simple way of making a spiral staircase, I guess, or well, at least I like to do it this way, just to make my life a bit easier to not get lost in it, is to just try and go very basically with the half slabs like that. And then we can start working our way out from there, just breaking it down and getting a smoother turn. Now, also excuse the real jerky movements of my mouse. It's just that normal mouse thing like that. Do you see how I just kind of shot up like that? If you guys have been around for a while, you may be aware of my silly mouse, but that's all right. So let's try something here. Okay, get this. I really shouldn't be using my my white terracotta. Let's switch it out. I've got this gray terracotta we're not using. The white terracotta it's not hard to get, but I just really don't want to go ahead and get it again. So let's just go up here. Go up like roughly, okay, I've gone a bit higher, but that could be a good point for us to reference. Let's check it out. So stop there. Yeah, cool. Good height. I need to get rid of that tree, big time. That tree's been in the way for quite some time now. It's just a little bit strange, just a little bit annoying. So as we go up here, let's think about it. We walk around here. This feels very, very steep, but we should be able to work that out. But it's about the feeling we get. I think if I can maybe do this in there, just to smooth it out a bit. Let's try that out. Does it work? Yeah, maybe even get rid of this one. Walk around there, and then around there. So we just need this over here to be a little bit smoother than before. So maybe what we could do, put those in there, and go across like that. Would that work? I think that could work. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll get rid of this, of course, and then just go slowly up. And this is the way I like to do it. I know it seems kind of counterproductive, but as is a lot of my building that I do in here, it's just a lot of it is not necessarily a efficient style, I guess. But it's all right. It makes builds, I think, so much better for us to work with than what we do when we just kind of slap stuff down without really any real thought. So let's just carry on like this. Probably something like this, and we'll do that. And as I say, excuse my mouse going everywhere. I've been wondering what the things are that could cause it. There's so many weird computer issues I've had so recently. I honestly thought I may run into it by this time, but apparently not. Let's do, well, yeah, there we go. And then we'll go up maybe like that, and we'll go in like this. So how's this looking? Height-wise, yeah, that seems about right. About the right height, I'd say. Something like that. So once we've got that, we need to also go ahead and make something a bit more interesting. So maybe something over here like this. In the inside piece here. So if we can make a little bit of an interesting look out on this one, maybe, I think a little bit of a fountain might be a bit much, but something along those lines. Just, maybe even just an interesting wall design, who cares? Something that'll look good. What? This is going crazy today. Okay, and then I'll fall off, of course. Of course. I mean, hey, I wasn't doing stuff already, was I? Okay, so let's just go smooth. This is actually, how did I do that? I just did a 360. I think what I may have to do is after this clip, just go ahead and restart my computer all over again. It's, it could just fix this. As I say, my bad. What? My bad on the on the mouse. So we'll go up a little bit more here, try and yeah, not match that. Let's try go for an interesting piece here. I've brought some of this stuff here as well in case we go for the interesting wall option. The fountain was an afterthought. The wall is the first thought. So let's go for that. So if we go in here, switch up the block to perhaps a bone block, or in fact we'll just keep it on this for now, and then we could always change it over. I'm trying to also make sure I don't forget about this white terracotta because it is so hard to look at sometimes, but I think it's well worth it if we can get it to work well. So if we do that over there, maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't think I quite like what I've got going on there. So perhaps if we do this, we can go in here, there and there. Maybe push this one up just a little bit. Over there. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Tell you what, I'm having trouble with this. I'm having trouble with my mouse. I'm going to go ahead and restart the computer. Restart maybe a bit of this idea, and then we'll get back. And it looks like it's all working. So I've gone ahead, restarted my computer, restarted a bit of this idea, and I thought we'd come in and start to work a bit more upwards, start to work off the space that I've created here. And the idea is, of course, keeping this nice and elegant, keeping it look very, very grand. And I think we've definitely got it with what I was talking about with this vertical height that we were going for. So if we go around here, I guess that's kind of, yeah, never mind. Vertical height, it's kind of the same stuff, but you know what I mean? Like the vertical stuff that we've been going for has been working. So let's do that. We'll go ahead and create a nice little checkerboard pattern here, I think. And then work our way up for some interesting looking piece around here. I think what will be important is getting the interesting stuff down below and then maybe just creating something to repeat on its way up to kind of not keep the same stuff going the whole way. So I was thinking something along these lines, maybe that way or the other way. Yeah, that way could work. Yeah, like that. Then something like that. Let's check this out. And yeah, but let's try it the other way. It just looks really blocky all on one side next to that pillar. So if we can get a bit less connecting up at the bottom there, I think that could look better. So I'd say roughly that way. Well, not roughly, exactly that way. And then this way over here. So if we can get that in here, that, and that, like that, I think that this... Wait, what am I doing? Is that the way I just did it? That is the way I just did it, right? Yeah, I've just messed up. Just don't mind me. Don't mind me. It's a little bit confusing sometimes. So maybe like that, and then like that, right? That's the, yeah. It means there's more chunkiness up the top than at the bottom. I think that'll start spreading it out. Maybe something like that, and like this. Now we've got a nice little place to look out over that way, where we have the entrance over here, the door itself over there. So let's go check this out. Actually, grab that as well, and then we'll go check it out. So with this, yeah, it's definitely working in terms of creating a little bit of interest here. I've also gone ahead and chosen to use the light gray concrete here, which was one of the suggestions we had for the outside. Quite a few people actually like that. I didn't really like it totally because of the flatness of the concrete. It's just so flat. Even though the white terracotta is pretty flat, it's just a little bit too much for me. Do I have any ender pearls on? Yep. Go up there. Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too flat and boring. And besides that, the best critique I think we saw of it was, like the builds in general, is that we're getting a bit gray. And I think it's true. We have to consider whether or not we've gone a little bit too dull sometimes, and it definitely happens with the colors I choose. I like those earthy colors. I like the gray colors. They very well, gray tones, I guess. They're very useful in terms of just keeping a nice, solid, good-looking build. Because when you start going a bit crazy with color, you start losing the overall like blend and everything, and it just gets really, really messy really, really quickly. Okay, yeah, that was weird, but I got that block. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm not a big fan of that there. You see that little piece out there? We don't really like that too much, but we'll get into that. So that's done. Now what we can do is maybe start working on the outside here. So I'm picturing this. We're actually going to get rid of that. And we're going to make this over here have a wall going up to here, a big entrance, and then a wall on the other side as well. So let's go into that there. And I like this little design here, but I think it's a little bit too weak. It's a little bit too small for what we're about to do, and I can't see it working with the way I want to do these walls either. So we'll just go up with a very boring thing, being this log over here. And this will allow us to go work off onto the wall. And actually, the angle that it's got as well is going to leave it to look very nice and bubbly. And I'll show you what I mean by that very, very soon. We'll get into the bubbliness of this and kind of the way I'm thinking of how we're going to be removing a lot of the squareness of this build, because it's going to be a square palace, right? Well, not square, but like rectangular palace. So it's not going to be all weirdly shaped, and we have to use that carefully because we can't go too crazy with it. So how's that looking? Actually, I went on the wrong height. I probably should have gone up to there. Yeah, but that'll be good. So now what we do is we put in a wall going up probably to that height, going up to that height, and then I'll also extend those walls at the back to go up as well, so that we've got a good platform to work with. And then what we want to do, get a roof in, get those walls in, get a door in, do some more decorating wherever we want, and then hopefully by the end of it, we've got ourselves a good looking place. There's a good spot to start from now. What I want to do is I want to go straight to the door, and then we'll work our way backwards. Kind of a backwards way of doing things, which I think would help us. So what I've done here is I've thought about how wide I want this door, and I think 5 is a bit too wide in some ways, but I think it'll be good. I think it's way better than what 3 would have been, and an even number was completely out of the question. So I think that'll actually work quite well. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and make this door a little bit easier, a little bit nicer, this arch of the door, because we'll eventually make a proper door in here. I don't think we're gonna make a door today. I think that could almost be one whole thing in its own. But what I want to do is pretty much just close this up a little bit nicer than what you normally would. And I think there's a pretty cool way that I've been doing recently when I come to an issue like this where I want to use some smaller blocks, but don't actually have the ability to put too many in. And of course the bigger blocks don't really work. I do this little thing here where I go up like that. And then I'll just go ahead and, oh, that doesn't quite work. That one. Okay, yeah, I can see what I need to do there. So if I do something like this, and just add in the pieces that are missing to it, like that, you can actually get a pretty cool curve to it, and get it all to work quite well, I think. So something like that, and then this one, I think what we'll actually do is do that there. Did that work? Yep. Something like that there, and something like that around there. So then it hides the whole thing like that. Looks kind of cool, I think. In fact, this one's a little bit weird. All right, don't worry about it. Let's do something like that and like that. Something. Just playing around, testing out the edge, and we'll see how it works. So that, no. I think, you know what actually should happen? I think I should go up one more with this over there. Then this will work nice and easily. And we can even keep this one in here. We can see if it works. So like that, and then it'll work. And I've actually come across this issue a few times in this world, and that's the way I like to tackle it, at least. Because, of course, you find a lot of the things just keep repeating themselves. The way you do doorways, of course, maybe it's just the way I do doorways, but I always land up with that sort of an issue with it, and that's what I've learned works quite well. Yep, that looks good. I think it was a good choice also for the spruce in there. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and add in another thing over there and another one over there similar to this. But I think what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of a curve and use it with the accent blocks like that. So if we can get a bit of this being the little bit of an accent that we're going to give to it, and we'll go up probably around over there. So what I want to do is I want to get a nicer curve, and we'll do a similar thing, but just a bit more narrow. Something like that. We'll make it a bit wider, like this. And we'll go down, oh, no, go down like that, there, and then we'll go the same way over here, where we go out. Do we go 2? Well, that's middle, isn't it? Yeah. So we go down 1, go down another, go down another, and then the last one, and we'll see how this looks now. So hopefully this over here has a nice curve to it. Yep. And we'll do another one. And then that just kind of solves the issue for that wall for the time being. Maybe you could add in another block in here because this separates it very well. You can see there, we could actually just start the top piece with a different block. So we'll look into that in the future. But currently, I think this will work. So we can go there. I think maybe just a one gap. Will that... Yeah, that one there's right. So we'll just do the exact same thing and repeat it up one above. So they're not touching. And we can also get them to, hopefully, yeah, look good. All right, so down there, and repeat the whole thing. I've gone through so many of these dark oak slabs recently. It's been ridiculous. It's surprising because I feel like I haven't used as many as I have in the past. Look at all that. Look at all the dark oak we've got over there. And let alone if I went flying up into the city. And I feel like these little pieces here have taken up so much dark oak, surprisingly, than what I would have expected. So there we go. That works there. Now, the next thing is, of course, going, as I say, working backwards. We'll work backwards to this piece here, which will be getting these walls in. And then we go ahead and get this little archway here. So we can maybe just end a pearl up there. And these walls, I'm going to stay true to what this building is. And we're going to use the blocks that we've chosen for it. The main plain block that we've chosen for it. So if we go up there... And we may put a window in here or something like that because I think it's going to look very, very bland with what I'm doing here. So let's check that out. Stop around there. Turn around. Yeah, that actually adds a good bit of color to this though. So maybe a window in there. We'll try it out. Let's just get the second side in because that sometimes changes things. So if we put that in there and there and like that. And if there's a bit of noise in the background, I can hear some sirens that may or may not be picked up by my microphone. It's one of the weirdest things, this mic. It sometimes picks up everything you don't want it to, and sometimes it just doesn't, which is good. So hopefully that didn't. But there we go. Like that, maybe a little bit of one of these up there could work, similar to what we've done there, where we've got a boring wall. We want to make it a little bit more interesting. So what do? We just add in something plain and interesting. No real reason, just because it's a little bit more interesting than what it is before. So there and here, like this. Same sort of thing. What's that? That one is there. Like this. We can push this out one, but I worry if I push this out, it might be too much. So we'll just step back. Yeah. Something like that. I think that could work just to get it out of the way. And I think maybe a window in there could work. It might be a bit too much, but I actually don't think I'm going to need glass to me. Yeah, we'll get back to the window there. Also, another thing that I was thinking about, which is something I've been thinking about since I put these in here, these lanterns, even though they're the same as what we've used in the front here, I think might look good as either glowstone with a trapdoor in front of them, or potentially as a... Oh, here you come. My favorite friends. I actually feel like I may have killed more of those endermites than anything besides endermen. Those could be my second most kills on any mob in this game so far. But yeah, what I want to do is I was thinking maybe some glowstone or a redstone lamp could actually look a little bit nicer than that and make it a bit warmer. Just with that yellow coming through or the orange color from either of them, they'll be all right. So I'll go get to work on that, and I'll also get a little bit of an archway in here while we sleep the night away. There you have it. Looking pretty good, I think, and also looking quite grand, I think. So this over here is exactly what I was hoping to get by the end of the day. Not exactly how I imagined it, but I think this is probably close enough to what we would want it to be. We can always tweak it a little bit. And I've just realized how funny it looks because around here, this is my good point of view, my good perspective. This is where I like to look at it. Because down from the bottom, you get a little bit more of a... it looks grand, and it looks a lot more as I would want it to look from the bottom, I guess. Looking very large and kind of hiding a bit where we've got pieces sticking out, hiding a bit at the top. I like that, but what I like to do is just sit out here at the front and look at a proper picture of it from the front. And this is very low, but coincidentally, and I did not think about this, it's at the same height as what these windows here would be on this level here, which is actually quite convenient. Maybe just one block too high, maybe, but that's all right. That can be worked out. So what we could even do is when we eventually put in, for instance, this I think would actually be one whole floor. I'm picturing very high roofs and stuff like that. So we'll see how that works, but that actually doesn't serve us too badly where that ended up, because I was kind of just putting stuff together hoping to see it come out looking good, and I think it actually did. The one different thing that I've noticed from this is that I've pushed these out here 2 or 3 blocks, whereas I've pulled these ones in a few blocks from the supports, which is the difference that I can pick between the two things that I've done here, and that could prove to be a problem in the future, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. Also, looking a lot better with this, and I was actually meaning to change these out because I think this could look a bit better with a bit of cyan terracotta, and I've brought some cyan terracotta just to go ahead and do that, which I forgot about. So let's quickly put them in. We can always change it back if we don't like it, but I'm feeling like it probably will look pretty good. Oh, yeah, we need these back. I was looking, I'm like, that looks way worse. There's not enough detail. Then I realized, wait, the block is not what added the detail. It was that little bit of stuff that added a little bit more to it. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. I think we've done a great job today. In fact, I'm very, very happy with this. Yet again, this whole project is actually going very smoothly. So let's hope that continues. But for today, I think we will continue it in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this build. Obviously, tips, tricks, and any critiques of this are welcomed in the comments. So I look forward to seeing them there. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. So thank you very much for joining me here today, guys. And I'll see you then.